hotels,
character customization,
open world,
tourist,
food mart.
beach.
What?
Life by You has had many updates since my last video about it. Let's talk about it, shall we? We're going to start off by talking about general things about Life by You. Things like, what will the first world be like? Well, the first world has a range of different areas, including a beach, a river, forests, a countryside with hills and vineyards. Some of the pre-existing lots include residential houses for NPCs and some empty ones, bus stops scattered throughout the town, and you can add some of your own, rest stops to fulfill your character's needs when they're out and about, a food mart, a car dealership, cafes, office buildings, clothing stores, seaside gifts for tourists, a salon, a lounge, a gym, a hotel, restaurant, bistro, parks, and the beach. Sadly, there's no beach job. Sorry, Ken. If you want to move any of these lots, you absolutely can. Also, we'll talk more about a few particular lot types later on in this video. The world is supposed to be casual, fun, quaint, and cute. That's why they include the beach for some feel-good, fun in the sun vibes. There's enough space throughout for players to create their own lots, which is great to have that space. Very fantastic. I love the fact that you can actually, have as many lots as you want, and you can put them down and make them. I like that quite a bit. There's not going to be any rabbit holes in the world. In addition to not including rabbit holes, there won't be any buildings that simply exist with no function. They're just there to look beautiful or whatever. This is because they wanted each lot to have a purpose. This was one of the challenges that the developers had to overcome because, there is a fine line between it looking dense and full and lived in and realistic, as well as being a functional town with purpose. Therefore, these locations like the food mart can also double as your character's workplace. There will be dynamic lighting in Life by You. Every light source will be dynamic and will cast real-time shadows if you're close enough to the light source with your camera. This will make the world look really great and will help bring it to life. On top of that, lighting will change throughout the day as the sun rises and sets, which is good because we like that type of stuff that happens in real life and we want to see that in a life sim. Players can choose to turn lights on and off by clicking the desired light source, like a candle, fireplace, or bulb. Some light bulbs will function as a smart light where you can change the color and temperature of it. There will be an auto light function where the lights turn off if your characters leave or if they fall asleep, and when they wake up or walk back inside, the lights will turn back on. Businesses will also work like that. That means the lights will turn on when the business is open and it will be dark when the business is closed, which is a good indication of when it is open. The art style of this game is really in service of the player and their storytelling. The devs want the art style to allow the player to play out the game in whatever way they want. It's essentially a life simulation canvas where the player's vision comes to life. The style is also very mature looking and not very cartoony. This was an intentional decision, so it was more appealing to older generations. The generations that might have grown up playing life sims, like I did. Except I don't like the fact that they called me an older generation. Come on, I'm just at the beginning of Gen Z. Technically, I'm considered Gen Z. Does that make me an older generation? They want these characters to be living and dressing the way Life by You players live and dress in the real world. It's very similar with the interior design style that will be in Life by You. They want players to be interested in it and to know it and to appreciate it. It's all catered towards the targeted audience. And that makes sense. Alright, let's talk about it. The elephant in the room. The early access to Life by You has been pushed back from this September to March 5th, 2024. Despite receiving positive feedback so far, the developers want to spend this extra time ensuring that they get a few things correct. For example, they want to make some visual improvements like enhancing animations, lighting, character models, assets, and more. They want to fine-tune the gameplay to give players a robust experience from the get-go. Based on feedback, they're actually overhauling the UI style before early access. In addition to that, they're improving the mod tools and will continue to fix bugs before and during and probably after early access. Lastly, they're working on adding Italian and Portuguese for early access alongside the pre-existing French, English, German, and Spanish. Pre-orders for the game will now include an extra nightclub vibe pack, which will feature club-inspired furniture. I was initially surprised by this date change, but at the same time, I'm happy about it. I'd rather the developers take a longer time to release a better version of the game versus just releasing the game in whatever state it's in and then needing to update it, or maybe they don't update it and it's just a whole thing. It's a whole messy thing. We don't want that. Moving on to live mode. Humans in Life by You will have several needs that the players will need to fulfill. You see what I did there? These needs include rest, food, toilet, fun, drink, social, and hygiene. You'll be able to deal with these needs as you normally would in a life sim, by sleeping, eating, going to the washroom, drinking water, socializing, and taking care of your hygiene. I like the fact that drink is a need. Humans in real life need to drink water, so it makes sense to include that in a life sim. It seems like there are going to be tons of ways to deal with these. For example, your human can put deodorant on for hygiene or take a bubble bath. They could also shave. Pretty cool. I want to see that in action. It seems like there will be a good range of needs-based activities. Oh, and you will be able to cheat your needs up or down. It seems like the background of their profile pictures here indicates how your character is feeling. This color seems to be good. Yellow and then red means their needs are not being taken care of, which, yeah, we're used to this sort of thing. The gray tone is for when the character is sleeping. Your characters will be able to purchase a vehicle or multiple vehicles at the car dealership. You do this by walking up to one and click purchase. Before buying the vehicle, you can select what color you want it to be. The car keys will automatically go into your inventory and will be activated. If you own multiple vehicles, you'll be able to tell which one is activated by this yellow dot in their inventory. If there's a yellow dot, it's activated and your character will drive around town using that vehicle. You can also gift cars by trading with other characters. You simply choose to trade and drag and drop the keys in their inventory, and now they have the car, or whatever you bought. Here is an example of a lot that's actually being used by a ton of characters. It's the food mart. At the food mart, you'll notice different displays, like the meat and the produce and the dairy and the bread. At these displays, you can inspect the food or take a food example. Once you're ready to head out, you can go up to the cashier, click on this, and order your groceries. It doesn't really seem like there's a lot to do here, to be honest, but this is a great place to eavesdrop and watch various interactions between the townspeople. Cashiers could be your own characters. Yep, you can work here if you want to. Besides that, you can customize the food mart to your liking. One of the hobbies your characters can participate in would be gardening. If your character likes that particular thing, then they're going to have a positive reaction. Anywho, gardening in Life by You works as you would expect it to. You can water plants, fertilize them when your gardening is high enough, hang out with the plants and hug the plants, observe them, walk through them, smell them, and more. As you can see, there are plenty of different plant types, including ones in hanging baskets. Hello there. To plant something, you need to place a plot and then choose to plant in that plot that you just placed. There's going to be different stages of growth, like seedling, young plant, mature plant, blossoming, I don't know. And each plant type will be different in how long it will take. Yeah, that was a good sentence. I'm gonna leave that in. Some things that caught my eye throughout this video was the beehives in the background, the character walking into the water a wee bit, and how great the fire looks in the bonfire. Actually, building in Life by You seems pretty standard. Creating the layout of the rooms and the floors is referred to as the floor plan. I found that a little weird when I first heard that, but it is what it is. Therefore, you create the outer walls, aka the floor plan, and then can make individual walls or rooms within that floor plan. Or around that floor plan. Or maybe the building is just the floor plan. Each floor is the floor plan? Moving on, you can remove the walls as well as move the house, rotate it, or move it up and down if you want to include a foundation or not. Once you're done with the first floor, you can make at least 2 more stories. While creating those levels, it'll work the exact same way as it did for the first floor with, the floor plan. It's good to point out that after placing walls and stuff, you can adjust where they are. That way you can make rooms larger or smaller after placing everything. Players will be able to edit walls and floors. You can change the material and color, including the hue, saturation, and lightness. You can save your custom swatch for later or delete that swatch altogether if you decide you don't like it anymore. If you do like something you've already placed, you can copy that wall or floor covering and paste it elsewhere. The coolest thing about this is the fact that the materials, like the patterns, the designs, for the walls, floors, and roofs can scale. You can make the design larger or smaller. Two neat things from this build video would be the balcony and the auto fit roof option. First of all, the balcony sort of came with the pillars already attached. I thought that was cool. You can change the style of it or remove them, but it's interesting. That's a different way to do it. Now, the most interesting feature, the auto fit roof option. It seems like this roof option will literally fit whatever building you put it onto. I think players will find this very helpful. I know I will. Finally, let's talk about the character creator. Honestly, there isn't really much to say. The characters will be extremely customizable. This is all thanks to the various sliders. The developers have said that they want the humans to look realistic, but without having that uncanny valley look. But yeah, I think that they look pretty realistic, and it's cool that you can make them look cartoony if you wanted to as well. It might be teetering on to Uncanny Valley for me personally. I think I kind of prefer the look of The Sims 4 or any of the Sims, except for maybe The Sims 3, and Paralives over this, but it's cool. It's an interesting look. I can play with this. One of the main things that have been talked about would be the support for a wide range of customization, like for beauty marks, scars, and tattoos. I think that this is very, very, very important. As somebody who has beauty marks, moles, on my face and on my arms and everything like that, and I have a tattoo and I have scars as well, I think that this feature is really important to include in the game, because it's not me if it doesn't have the mole on my cheek. All of these will include custom placement on the humans, so yeah, you'll be able to move them, rotate, and scale them. There will be 6 tattoos for early access. However, additional ones will be included down the line. Like I said, there's going to be many, many, many sliders in the character creator. I don't think players will have a hard time creating unique looking humans. Just look at all of this. It's great. Some standout features include the slider for wrinkles and glossiness, as well as the custom color tools for the eyes, like you can change the iris and the pupil and all of that in the eye separately. It's very neat. The key to all of this, the customization, the different looks, and the abilities to create unique faces and people of different ethnicities all come down to flexibility and sliders. I'm pretty excited to see all of the characters players will make. How do you feel about Life by You? Are you getting more excited about this? If you liked hearing this update for Life by You, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe for future Life by You updates. Thank you for watching. Until next time, bye!